Hey guys. So when we're young, we have no self-awareness. We just walk around, we do what we feel, and we're really, really happy. And then eventually life starts to catch up with us and we start to have some negative experiences, and we begin to develop self-consciousness. And these new patterns can start to affect how we actually operate and start to take away from our happiness. So eventually, we start to get tired of feeling unhappy. So we decide, okay, well, let me maybe go to therapy, or let me start journaling, or let me start trying to figure out what my issues are. And at this stage, we start to become more self-aware. We become more self-conscious. We start to understand ourselves better. And as we continue down this path, we start to realize just how much of our behavior, our thinking, our feelings, how we interact with life is controlled by unconscious patterns. These are patterns that were impressed upon us by past events, and our inability to cope with them or to reason with them at the time to give them healthier meanings can affect us in our daily lives. So we start to try to fix this in ourselves, right? We start to become more self-aware. And as we start to notice that a lot of our problems are due to these unconscious patterns, we start to make them conscious. We start to notice when they're operating. And it is here at this stage of conscious awareness that we can actually begin to choose a new behavior, choose an alternative. And this is really where change is possible. But it's not possible when you're not aware of yourself and your patterns and your conditioning. So this was really my journey of self-development and personal development. Life started off grand. I was doing my thing. Things were great. And then life started to happen, and some negative situations started to arise, and they began to cloud my reality. I started to feel more self-conscious. I couldn't operate the same way. It was robbing me of my happiness. And so I started to try to figure out what was wrong. I would journal. I journaled for many years. I would go to therapy. I would try to talk to people, tell them what's going on. And if you saw my last video, I talked about why therapy and looking backwards at your problems is not really a good idea. But anyway, so you go through this process of self-understanding, which is really good in some respects. But eventually you have to start to focus on what you want. You have to stop looking at what is wrong, and you have to start focusing on what is wanted. And you can only really begin that process once you start to realize what's happening unconsciously in you. So the crazy thing about self-development is that you can't skip levels, you can't skip steps. You are on your own journey, and wherever you are right now is where you need to be, which is annoying. I understand that, and frustrating, but you can't force it. You can't rush it. So just know, if you're watching this right now, you're already quite a ways down the pathway. You already realize probably that there are some unhelpful patterns operating inside of you, and you're probably looking to change them and to let go of these unconscious patterns and to adopt new ones, new helpful patterns. So just know that you're on the right path, and everything's fine. You'll get there. So just keep on doing what you're doing. Continue waking up, and continue thinking about what you want and stop thinking about what you don't want. If you want to talk more about this, you can hit me up. There's a link in the description. Otherwise, I wish you luck on your journey.